Hello guys, welcome back to another chess video. This is Amit here, and today I'll be showing you an interesting game played by Fischer and Strasky. Okay, and in the previous video I had showed you a game played by Fischer and Strasky also. So that was with the Lopez opening, and this game is with the Sicilian kind of setup. Fischer was with white pieces, and he played the game with e4, c5, nc3, nc6, ne2, d6, d4, cd4, and d4. This is the Sicilian defense opening, and here e6 is played, and bishop e3, knight f6, queen d2, and this is the normal setup for seven engine kind of attack. And here the game will go on rigorous grounds with white castling on the queen side and black castling on the king side, and there will be a dangerous attack for both white and black, and whoever attacks first and succeeds wins the game. So here black played bishop to e7, and white played f3, a6, castles on the queen side, castles on the king side, and g4. This is a normal variation of the attack. White will normally go ahead with h4, h5, and then attack the black king. So here black neutralizes the center knight, and white captures the knight with the bishop and b5, and g5. White attacks the knight goes back to d7 and h4. Since the pawn is attacked twice, white defends the pawn with h4, and black attacks the knight on the c3 square. So knight goes to a4 and bishop goes to b7. Here the interesting idea is knight to b6. Now in the game what happened, knight wasn't captured, and black played rook b8 and tried to attack the white's queen side, and where the king has castle. But there is an interesting moment here. If black captures the knight on the b6, so if black captures the knight on the b6, then queen captures the pawn, and white will simply gain a pawn. And if d5 is played, then queen captures b6, and queen captures. Then black cannot capture this pawn on the e4 square, because rook comes to d7, and it is going to be a threat for both the bishops, and bishops will be hanging. And if this position is not happening, then white will simply gain a pawn, and it will be a comfortable endgame for white. So Strasky didn't want to get into this variation, and he played the move rook to b8. Once rook to b8 is played, and white captured the knight on the d7, and black captures back, king is moved to safety, queen c7, bishop d3, and bishop to c8. And now white starts his attack by h5, and now the next idea is to play g6, which happens in the game after a few moves, and he plays the move g6. So this is the way you need to conduct an attack on the opponent's king. So you have to rally all your pieces to the opponent's side. Here there are 4 pieces attacking the opponent's king, whereas black has just a rook, queen, and a bishop, whereas white has all his pieces eyeing towards the black king. So here black goes on the defensive by playing the move bishop to f6. White captures the pawn on the h7, and king goes to h8, and bishop to g5, exchanging one of the bishop, and one of the bishop which was defending the black king, so he has to guard it. And now here black captures the f3 pawn. So once the f3 pawn is captured, white gains the g7 pawn, and the attack now begins to loom into a dangerous one. because now in this position, if black doesn't have any counter attack on the white's king side, as white's king is safe and sound. So white is the one who is pressing for the win by attacking the black's king side. So all his pawns are in the attacking position and on h6 and h7, and it is a dangerous one. And whereas black doesn't have much threat, he tries to create some threat with a4, but white plays b3 and ab3, ab3, and he plays rook to f8. Now white plays queen g2, and in a few more moves you can see that white has a lethal attack on the black's king, and whereas black doesn't have much of a threat, and he will be lost in a few moves, because now the rook comes to f8 and rook goes to g8, and once rook goes to g8, now black has to capture the rook. If he captures, then pawn captures the rook, and rook captures the queen, then queen captures the rook, then it's going to be a checkmate. So instead black went for queen h7, king h7, and now again rook comes to g7. Now queen cannot capture the rook. If king captures the pawn on the h6, then rook h1 is going to be a lethal checkmate in another 2 moves. So black doesn't want to get into that position, and he plays king h8, and white, which is Fisher, he plays h7, and at this point Spassky resigned the game, as there is no way to counter this checkmate. So if you play a move like queen to d8, then there are a lot of ways in which white can give checkmate, and easiest one is playing rook to g8, rook captures rook, pawn captures rook and queen captures the queen, rook h1, and he simply exchange of a rook for a queen, and the game will be winning for white. So this is like a one-sided attack. Since black was a bit slow in his attack, white could actually capitalize on that, and he attacked first and was able to convert the game into a victory. So yeah, hope you like this video, and if you want me to make many more such content, I will be posting many such videos in the future. So thank you all.